Hey guys, I am unpacking a lot of new products and tools in the detailing studio, and I just wanted to show you some of the things I use as a professional on a daily basis that I don't normally show on the YouTube channel because it's not something I think the massive detailers are gonna buy, but it is what I use actually. What's going on guys? Luke here, owner and operator of Wilson Auto Detailing, a local detailing business to Nashville, Tennessee, and an online training business for detailers to get the hands-on training and the business training that they need. So as you guys know, most of the time in my videos, I'm showing things like the Sunjoe pressure washer, and I'm showing different spray bottles and pump sprayers, and really I do use those things, but some of it I show in the videos because it's more budget friendly to a lot of people who watch the videos. So let's take a look at some of the upgrades that I use professionally that I don't always talk about. Now this is one that I'm pretty excited about to show you, but this is the air compressor that I use on a daily basis, and I believe the company is called Werther International. I got this from Obsessed Garage. The reason why I spent literally $2,000 on this white air compressor is because it is silent. So I'm gonna turn it on just so you can hear it. It's on, okay? Now I'm sitting here with my little lapel mic, so you guys can hear probably pretty loudly here, but if I step back over here, I mean, honestly, I think my air conditioner is louder than the air compressor. Now you might be thinking, Luke, why did you get a silent air compressor? Well, it's because I'm shooting this video right now. My air compressor is on, and you can probably barely even hear it. You're basically just hearing the sound of my voice. Well, I do a lot of videos when I'm doing my daily detailing, so I actually did need an air compressor that didn't blast my ears and that could run in the background while my videos were shooting. It speeds me up a lot. Now, in addition to that, the pressure washer that you see behind me is the Krenzla 1322TS, I believe. I don't know why they give these things such complicated names, but I also have the Cox hose reel mounted right underneath it. This is again kind of one of those Obsessed Garage setups, and then I've got my DI tank right underneath it and my hose spigot down there with a bucket filler here. It's actually divided into two, and then one going into the DI tank, and of course the pressure washer. And then I've got my hose right here with the MTM short handle wand here. It's basically always on. Now the reason why I use this professionally is because in the new detailing studio, I need a pressure washer that does not move, it's stationary. I can literally just turn it on like this, and I can start pressure washing a car. It speeds me up a lot, but like I said, most of what I show in my YouTube videos is the Sunjoe pressure washer, and the reason for that is because the Sunjoe pressure washer is something that I literally used for years when I was mostly mobile, even though I still do mobile stuff now, and I still use that pressure washer when I do mobile stuff. This is of course something that's way more permanent, and unless you're detailing and really doing well in your detailing business, you're probably not gonna buy that where you mount it in a van or you mount it in your studio, so it's just not something I show all the time. Okay, in addition to those two things, what I have in my lap here is a Lake Country pad washing system, and when I say system, really all this is a 5-gallon bucket, and then they've got a little bit of a mechanism where you've got clean water in here. You can kind of push this spring-loaded trap right here that causes some water to splash up, and it's basically just a really quick way to clean your pad. You can spin your pad with your polisher right on top of this, get a little bit of water in there, it slings out around here, and it separates the clean water from the dirty water. The reason I'm highlighting this is because this is one of those tools that I think is like relatively expensive, and it's probably like crazy margins because this is all just plastic, but I think it's over $100. And normally I would just use compressed air when I'm doing paint correction, but the more, even with the studio, that I use compressed air and I'm doing paint correction and ceramic coatings, I just cannot emphasize enough the need to clean your pad as you're doing paint correction. There are so many problems that arise from not cleaning a pad well enough or often enough, and all of that stuff can be avoided in the paint correction world if you just clean your pad more and correctly. And so I like to have both compressed air and a actual pad washing system here because it just makes my life so much easier and I get way better results. Now the last thing I want to highlight here is the smaller bottle IK sprayers, okay? So this is just like a smaller, like half 32-ounce bottle, right? And there's nothing really special about this other than the size, I would say. I also like the fact that it does have a weighted ball at the end, so no matter how I'm tipping this bottle, I'm always getting solution out of it. Generally speaking, I am not an advocate of buying more expensive spray bottles because harsher chemicals are going to degrade the little mechanisms inside of the head of the spray bottle. I kind of think, well, listen, I'd just rather buy cheap spray bottles that I can cycle through easily because some of them last forever and some of them break easily, and so the most economical way to address it is just to buy them in bulk and switch them out when I need to. The reason why I like this so much is because, again, I do mostly ceramic coatings and paint correction in my detailing world now. The reason why I like having small spray bottles like this is because when I'm doing any paint correction, wet sanding, prepping paint, a lot of times I'm using very little chemical, right? So I'm using a little bit of distilled water, a little bit of surface prep, and it's way easier just to have this small, lightweight bottle than throwing around larger bottles, especially when I'm doing technical work around edges or things like that. I can just be very focused, spraying something. I don't have to break out my whole pressure washer. And so this actually does come come in handy when you're doing stuff like that. I would also say that no matter where you're at in the detailing world, if there are certain areas of the detailing process that you are implementing where you just need a little bit of product and not too much, one of those areas for me in traditional detailing would be like glass cleaning. I don't really use a ton for interior glass. I use a 50-50 version of distilled water and alcohol, rubbing alcohol. This is a great bottle for that particular part of my detailing process because I use so little of that product and I go through it so sparingly that this tiny little bottle would save me just some headache because it's easy to throw around, but it would also just be something easy for areas like that where you just don't need a lot of product. So there you go, guys. Those are some areas that I don't talk about too much on the YouTube channel because I don't think they're too friendly to like the beginner detailer who doesn't have, you know, a lot of money to spend on stuff. And so I like talking about stuff that's more on a budget, but that is some stuff that I do implement day to day in my studio here. So as always, guys, if you got value here, make sure to hit the like button because it's the only way I know that this actually helps you. And leave a comment below and let me know if you agree or disagree or use something else that might be helpful for me in my business, because I think a lot of other people would be helped by that as well. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, remember, a great detailer is always learning. Thank you for being involved, and I'll see you in the next video.